You have quite the resume, man, when it comes to football. At Miami Northwestern High School in Liberty City, you went 30-0 as a starting quarterback, back-to-back 6A state titles. You're named Florida's Mr. Football as a senior. Um, Dude, so many accolades in high school coming out of high school. Like, what was it, mind, body, and soul during those years of your football career that just like, what did it feel like, or what was it like just to be so dialed in?
You just hit it on the head being dialed in. Because I really didn't realize the significance of what we were doing until I think after college. Cause it was just we were just kids having fun playing football. So we never realized that this is big, that we're inner city kids, never lost a football game. We have our coaching staff our junior year, and then we lose them our senior year, and we get a whole new coaching staff who comes in and says they want to run their own plays, and we tell them no. I'll just we just like, nah, I'll just call the plays. And they're like, what? You guys are 17 years old. You're not gonna call plays for a high school that's, it's a big time high school in Miami. And we succeed. We go 15-0, national champions, and we make it happen. So it was we didn't understand what we were doing. I'm not even gonna lie. We didn't understand the significance of what we accomplished in high school, and how nationwide it was something that people seen across the nation. Because now, even when college and after college, now I've been to California, I've been to Arizona, and I've spoken to people and athletes from all over the country that be like, man, you played for that team that I watched on TV that played against South Lake Carroll on ESPN. Y'all was like the first high school to do that. So I didn't know people watched that. So I didn't know people tuned in, but it was something we did something great.
How serious is football down in South Florida? And I'm asking this because in an article you said, quote, you're playing so you don't disappoint others, end quote. And the you're playing so you don't disappoint others part is extremely powerful, but that's also a lot of weight to put, on a teenager.
It is a lot of weight. There's a lot of pressure because in those schools, a lot of kids and everybody is pretty much, you coming from the inner city. Um, 9 times out of 10, your living environment isn't that great. So you making it for your family is something that everybody in those neighborhoods, they're looking forward to. They see the potential in you. They see how great you can be, and then they of course they're gonna support that 100%. They're gonna push you, the whole community, because they know that this one person can change their life. They could change their scenario, their lifestyle, and that's how it is in those inner city schools.
How is it like for you, like if you can kind of go back to that time, like for you, like I mean you're growing up, you're playing a sport that you love and that you're obviously really good at. Like I'm just trying like to think about what that feels like, because not only are you doing this for yourself, but you're doing it for your family and for your community. And that's a hell of a lot of responsibility.
I just didn't think about that stuff growing up, and it's hard to say and it's hard to believe, but it wasn't something that I paid attention to. I just went and was playing the game that I love. I didn't realize that, okay, if I focused this hard, if I did this much, I can make it to the NFL. I wasn't even thinking about the NFL. I didn't care about it, didn't think about it. I just wanted to play football. And that was it. Got a scholarship offer, got a bunch of scholarship offers, and was like, dang, I get to go to school for free. I was more so, enjoying just being a kid.
How important do you think that is? Like if you're talking to, young men and young women right now about, how to move through their playing careers, how important is it, would you say, to just focus on the having fun? Because clearly a lot of the other stuff is out of your control, can get overwhelming. So if you just strictly focus on the fun like you did, which by the way is awesome, then I feel like a byproduct of that is a ton of
Success.
success.
Yeah.
Boom, look
The
at that. You took
byproduct,
the word right out of my mouth, bro.
yeah. The byproduct is success. I just want people to understand, like, when you, having fun doesn't mean not focusing on your craft. Having fun is loving your craft and loving what you do and making it fun and not making it a job, because eventually it's going to become a job. So prepare yourself mentally for the long haul, because I mean, so that's why I feel like you got to have fun, because in the long run, it's going to turn into a business. And when that hits, it hits hard. When you realize that it's a business, it hits you a different way. It's something that a lot of people don't adjust well to, and they always scream, "Oh, the business side took away the love for the sport. It took away my me having fun," and it does sometimes. So you gotta adjust. You gotta learn, be ready for that.
Yeah, it's so well said, dude. I feel like if that love is the foundation, then you're really going to set yourself up for success, even more success when it does maybe mix with the business side and that sort of thing. That's really powerful, dude. And I think it's a great message for young men and women to hear early on, so they can kind of carry that with them. Because if you go with that other mentality, man, like it's just your whole world collapses, and then maybe there's just like identity crisis of wrapping yourself up with your sport.
I was just about, I was just about to say, if you go into it with love and you have fun, you have no regrets afterwards, because you left it all on the line. You did everything you can. You had the most fun as you possibly can. So now when it's done, you can say, I did it. Um, Instead of you taking it so serious and not having fun, then all you do is you focusing on making it to the NFL, and say you do make it to the NFL. But then as soon as you get there, you get cut. Like that was an experience with me. As soon as you get there, you get cut. And then now you're sitting back like, dang, was I not good enough? You start questioning yourself. But when I look back at it, if football was the end, as soon as I had got cut from the NFL, I would have still been okay, because I had already put in my mind that football wasn't who I was. It wasn't. That's not all I can do. I can do other things. I could tap into a lot of other things. Um, I just have to find out what it is and what that is that I want to do, and I'm going to pursue it.
Wow, that's amazing, dude. I love hearing that you're able to have to know that so early on. So when that stuff, whether it happened or it didn't, like at some point something would happen that would get you to kind of question that. And I think that's great that you were able to explore that early on, have that. So when it was time for you to move away after the NFL, after the CFL, you're like, okay. And then I'm not saying it's easy necessarily, but it makes it easier.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but I was setting myself up every off season anyway, working different jobs and different places, just because I wanted to put stuff on a resume so I could just randomly, if once I'm done, I got a resume. Yeah, the resume might not be exactly for whatever job I might be going out, but I got something on paper saying that I did something. So that's what I was doing.
Why did you pick the University of Miami? Did it have a lot to do with being from the area and wanting to continue your career there, or what was it for you?
It's a lot of things. It's yeah, growing up loving the Canes, and seeing the guys, and seeing how they are when they come back to the facility, seeing them around the facility, going out there to practices as a young kid, going to the games at the Orange Bowl as a young kid. You see all that, and all that stuff make you want to become a Hurricane. Um, you know, it's a bunch of things that factor into the reason why I actually went. Um, but ultimately, me loving the school and loving, being home to play in front of, the fans and people that watch me grow up through high school, and it not being such a burden for my family to have to travel all the way across the country to, say, Oregon, um, to come see me. That made a lot of sense, like in my decision for me.